All right, get ready to smash into this because today we're going deep on Hulk in Marvel Rivals.
Oh, yeah.
We have articles galore
Yes.
and an awesome YouTube vid from this top-ranked player, Hogs. He's going to break down how he dominates with Hulk.
Awesome.
You know, he's not just about smashing, he's about strategy and finesse. You want to be the one causing the chaos.
Right.
You don't want to get lost in it.
Yeah, what's so interesting about Hulk is that he's like this masterclass in duality.
Oh, yeah?
You've got Bruce Banner, the unassuming scientist,
Right.
and bam, Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
It's knowing when to embrace each form and using that transformation strategically.
See, that's what I think people miss when they first start playing Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Mastering Hulk is about understanding Bruce Banner is a means to an end.
Right.
He's not your fighting form, he's your resource generator.
Exactly.
Every second you spend as Banner should be focused on getting you to that Hulk transformation faster.
Yeah.
And Hogs, he even had this cool tip for that.
Yeah. He did, yeah. He suggests using the gamma grenade right at the start of the match.
Oh, wow.
Not just for attack, but for a well-placed short-distance transformation.
Interesting.
It catches your opponents off guard.
Okay.
Think of it as a quick change act, but with, like, explosive results.
Wow, that's sneaky. Never thought of using the gamma grenade like that.
Yeah.
Really changes how you approach the early game.
Yeah.
But it's not just about transforming quickly.
Right.
It's about managing that rage.
Right, exactly, yeah. Rage fuels Hulk's power.
Okay.
The more you have, the more frequently you transform, and the more powerful your Hulk becomes.
I see.
So you're not just waiting for it to build passively, you're actively seeking out combat actions to fuel that transformation.
Like a dance.
Yeah,
Pushing the enemy just enough to build rage without getting taken out as Banner.
right.
But even the best dancers need to adapt to changes in the music.
Exactly.
Same goes for Hulk and Marvel Rivals.
Yep.
I read about a recent patch that changed his gamma shield.
Ah, yes, the Gamma Shield nerf.
Yeah.
It used to have 250 hit points, but now it's down to 200.
Oh, wow.
And it's a reminder that staying up to date on patches is crucial.
Yeah.
What worked last week might not work today.
Right.
Developers are constantly tweaking and balancing.
Sure.
So you've got to adapt your strategies
Yeah.
to stay ahead of the curve.
It's like a meta game, almost.
Right.
Constantly learning and adjusting, you're leveling up your game knowledge along with your character.
Right, yeah.
And speaking of strategy, our sources highlighted the importance of team synergy.
Oh, for sure.
Even a powerhouse like Hulk can't always go it alone.
That's so true. Imagine pairing Hulk with someone like Doctor Strange, who can control the crowd, or a healer who keeps him in the fight longer.
Yeah.
Suddenly, his effectiveness just skyrockets.
Right.
It's because he's not just this lone wolf, he's part of, like, a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Choosing the right teammates can dramatically change how a match plays out.
Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
They do.
But before we dive into the specifics of Hogs' gameplay, there's one thing all of our sources agreed on.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect.
It's not just about, like, memorizing combos.
Right.
It's about internalizing the timing, the range, how those abilities flow together seamlessly.
Yeah.
That kind of mastery only comes with practice.
For sure.
The more you play, the smoother your execution becomes, and the more instinctive your reactions are going to be in an actual match.
It's like learning an instrument. You
Yeah,
have to put in the hours to make it really sing.
exactly.
Okay, I'm ready to hear from the maestro himself. Let's break down Hogs' insights on dominating as Hulk.
He calls Hulk a high-damage, high-annoyance playmaker. He's all about minimizing your time as Banner.
Okay,
Remember, Banner is just a stepping stone to becoming the Hulk.
so efficiency is key, even in those weaker moments.
Right.
When you do become Hulk, what's the strategy?
Hogs is all about applying constant pressure. He uses the normal attack, what he calls the heavy blow, to keep the enemy on their toes, break their shields, and just disrupt their plans.
I'm picturing Hulk just wailing on opponents, but it's not mindless smashing, is it?
Not at all. Hogs is a master of timing and combo execution. He points out that you can cancel primary attacks with abilities to maintain combo flow.
Okay,
Keep those attacks coming.
so you're not just hitting buttons, you're weaving together like a symphony of attacks.
Exactly. And speaking of symphony, let's talk about the Hulk clap.
Right?
This is one of Hogs' favorite moves, and for good reason. There's no damage fall-off, which means it hits just as hard at a distance as it does up close. Plus, it pierces through multiple enemies.
I'm picturing Hulk just clapping his way through a crowd of enemies. How effective is that combo against, say, a tank character?
It's surprisingly effective. The clap itself might not take out a tank,
Right.
but it staggers them, breaks their shields, and sets them up for follow-up attacks.
Gotcha.
And Hogs has this bread and butter combo, punch, clap, punch. It's a quick burst of damage that can really chunk down an opponent's health, even those tougher tanks.
That sounds devastating.
Yeah.
But it's not just about brute force. Hogs gets into some seriously smart tactics,
Yeah.
especially with Hulk's exile ability. It sounds like one of the most misused abilities by newer players.
It is. Exile locks down an opponent for 2 full seconds, prevents them from dealing damage or healing.
Wow.
Imagine you're in this tense battle, and suddenly your opponent's most powerful character is completely neutralized.
Oh, wow. That's a game changer. Why is it misused, though?
It has a 15-second cooldown, so you can't just spam it.
Okay.
New players often use it reactively.
Right.
But Hogs is all about using it strategically.
Yeah.
He uses Exile to disrupt key enemy ultimates.
I see.
Like that massive energy blast that could wipe your team, or he'll use it to cancel an enemy's escape,
Okay.
trapping them for his teammates to finish off.
So it's a defensive tool that can be used offensively.
Yeah!
That's some next level thinking. What about Hulk Bubble?
Oh, yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It is. It's Hulk's signature defensive ability.
Right.
Hulk Bubble grants shields to nearby allies, absorbs incoming damage, and converts some of that damage into ultimate charge.
Hold on. It charges your ultimate too.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But like Exile, I imagine timing is everything.
You're right. It's not just a panic button.
Okay.
Hogs talked about using it to like dive into a fight, soak up some damage, then jump back out before it breaks.
Right.
Or using it defensively to counter those big burst attacks that could wipe out your team.
Yeah.
It's all about understanding its limitations and using it at the right moment to maximize its impact.
My brain's getting a workout here, so I'm loving it. We haven't even talked about one of Hulk's most unique aspects,
Oh, yeah.
his mobility.
Right.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yeah. Hulk's jump is incredible. It has no cooldown and covers huge distances. He can wall jump, climb, like he's defying gravity.
So it's not just about getting from point A to point B, it's about using that movement to confuse your opponents and get the upper hand.
Exactly. Hog says to hold down the jump button to maintain that momentum and catch your opponents off guard. He uses it to dodge attacks, chase down fleeing enemies, and even reach these unexpected vantage points.
It sounds like a completely different way to approach movement in the game.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the main event, Hulk's ultimate ability, Charged Up.
This is where Hulk truly shines. You transform into this monster Hulk, gaining invincibility frames for a short period, increased health, and enhanced abilities.
Now, wow.
It's all about going all in. Hogs emphasizes aggression, dive in, deal damage, use those souped-up abilities to transform back before you die.
It sounds like a controlled explosion of Hulk power. But what are those invincibility frames you mentioned?
For a brief moment during the transformation, Hulk is completely invulnerable. It's like this split second of God mode.
Yeah.
Allows you to dive into the heart of the enemy team without taking any damage, setting up those powerful attacks.
It's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
But those invincibility frames don't last forever, right?
No. That's why Hogs stresses the importance of making the most of that charged up state. Dive in, disrupt, deal damage, get out before the invincibility wears off. He says the key is mastering the clap in ultimate form because it has almost no cooldown.
Right.
You can just spam it and melt those squishy DPS characters, those damage dealers who can't take a lot of punishment themselves, or take out the supports who keep the enemy team alive.
That sounds absolutely epic.
It is.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah.
An ultimate within the ultimate.
Yeah.
World Breaker sounds insane.
It is. World Breaker is a massive burst of damage with damage reduction for Hulk, but it has this long animation.
Okay.
Hogs recommends saving it for the very end of your ultimate duration.
Ah, I see. So you're already in this superpowered state, causing chaos, and then bam, you hit them with World Breaker as like a final devastating blow.
Exactly.
It's like the exclamation point at the end of a Hulk smash sentence.
Yeah.
But before we get too caught up in the hype, let's not forget about Hulk's team-up potential.
He's got 2 team-up abilities.
Okay.
And one of them, the one with Iron Man, is particularly powerful.
Yeah.
Hogs called it, and I quote, busted.
That's a strong statement.
It is.
It really shows how important team composition can be. Makes you wonder if that team-up is too powerful and might need balancing in the future.
Right.
But tell me more about that other team-up ability, Fastball. It sounds interesting, but we haven't really talked about it.
It is interesting and a bit unusual. Fastball lets Hulk throw an ally across the battlefield.
Oh.
It's not as straightforward as it sounds.
Oh.
The throw itself can be a bit awkward,
All right.
and the effectiveness really depends on who you're throwing and who they're hitting.
That sounds chaotic. I can see why we need to dive a little deeper into that one. But before we do, let's wrap up part 1 of our deep dives. We've covered a lot of ground already. From understanding Hulk's duality to mastering his basic combos and abilities, we even touched on the importance of team synergy and those game-changing ultimates.
We've laid the foundation, but there's still so much more to explore.
Oh, yeah.
We need to break down Fastball, delve deeper into World Breaker, and uncover even more of Hogg's advanced strategies.
So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll unlock even more secrets to becoming a true Hulk master in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
As we were discussing Hulk's unique mobility,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder if mastering unconventional movement,
Right.
that element of surprise, could that be the key to success in other games, not just Marvel Rivals?
It's an interesting thought. Think about those players who just seem to bend the game to their will.
Yeah.
Pulling off these moves you never even thought possible. They're not just reacting, they're dictating the flow of the match.
Yeah.
And Hogg's, with his mastery over Hulk's jump,
Right.
he is a prime example of that.
He's turning what some might see as a limitation
Right.
into a strategic advantage.
Exactly.
Like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
That's a great analogy.
Right.
He's not just using it defensively either.
Yeah.
He actually uses Hulk's jumps to counter flyers.
Oh, wow.
Think of characters like Iron Man and Storm,
Right.
zipping around the battlefield, so hard to pin down.
Yeah.
Hogs will use wall jumps, climbs, anything he can to close that distance, bring those aerial threats down to earth.
That's some serious adaptation right there. It's
Yeah.
not just about knowing your character.
Right.
It's about knowing the map,
Uh-huh.
using the environment to your advantage.
Exactly.
Hogs even mentioned specific strategies for Clintar and Spider Islands.
He did.
Right.
On Clintar, he advocates playing around the second tank,
Oh, okay.
almost like being a wall.
Interesting.
He uses his positioning
Yeah.
and Hulk's mobility to control the flow of battle, protecting his teammates and pushing the enemy back.
Right.
And on Spider Islands,
Yeah.
he uses that roof above the defender spawn to his advantage.
Oh, okay.
He'll leap up there,
Wow.
forcing the enemy to waste resources dealing with him
Smart.
while his team pushes forward.
So it's like he's always one step ahead,
Yeah.
using the environment to create these mini battlefields
Right.
within the larger match.
Exactly.
But even with all these incredible tactics, I imagine there's still some tough matchups for Hulk.
Absolutely.
Right.
No character is invincible.
Yeah.
And Hogs acknowledges that Hulk has his weaknesses.
Okay.
He specifically mentioned Punisher, Rocket, Wolverine, and Penny Parker
Oh, wow. Okay.
being particularly challenging.
So even a Hulk can be humbled.
They all have abilities or play styles
Right.
that counter Hulk's strengths. For example, Punisher can deal a lot of damage from a distance,
Yeah.
keeping Hulk at bay.
Right.
Rocket is similar with his explosives and agility.
Yeah.
Wolverine, with his healing factor, can be tough to take down. And Penny Parker's web traps can really mess with Hulk's mobility.
Wow. Okay.
Hogs even said that facing a Punisher and Rocket combo is
Yeah.
not very fun.
Oh my gosh.
Which, coming from Hogs, sounds like an understatement.
I bet.
Yeah.
It is refreshing to hear, though, that even the best players face challenges.
Yeah.
Makes the game feel more balanced.
Right.
And it gives us mere mortals hope.
Exactly.
But on the flip side, Hogs also highlighted some favorable matchups for Hulk.
He did.
Right.
He said that Hulk generally does well against most other opponents,
Okay.
calling those matchups either positive or neutral.
Interesting.
And of course, he couldn't resist mentioning
Yeah.
that legendary Hulk Iron Man team up.
Right. Right.
Remember how he called it busted?
Oh, yeah. That was a strong statement.
It was.
What makes that team up so effective?
It's this perfect storm of synergy. Iron Man's ranged attacks and mobility complement Hulk's close-range power and disruption. They can cover each other's weaknesses and amplify each other's strengths.
Right. Right.
And apparently it makes Doctor Strange even more effective when they're all on the same team.
Wow. It's like the ultimate power trio.
It is.
No wonder so many players gravitate towards Hulk.
Yeah.
But speaking of team-ups, remember that other one, Fastball?
Yeah.
I've mentioned it a few times,
Yeah.
but haven't really dug into what it does or why it's so unusual.
Right.
Fast.
Fastball is where Hulk throws an ally at the enemy. It's a bit of a wild card.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah.
What kind of situations would you even use that in? And who would you throw?
Hoggs gave a few examples.
Okay.
He said you could throw an ally into the enemy front line,
Oh, wow.
setting up a grab for your Wolverine.
Okay.
Or you could use it to disrupt the enemy formation,
Right.
creating chaos and giving your team an opening to attack.
So it's about using that element of surprise.
Right.
No one expects a flying teammate coming at them.
Exactly.
It sounds risky, but potentially very rewarding.
Yeah.
But Hoggs did say it was inconsistent.
He did. The throw itself is a bit awkward,
Oh.
and the effectiveness really depends on who you're throwing, who they're hitting,
Right.
and how the enemy reacts.
Yeah.
It's not a move you can rely on consistently,
Sure.
but in the right hands at the right moment,
Yeah.
it can be a game changer.
It's like a high-risk, high-reward gamble.
Right.
It fits with Hulk's overall play style.
Yeah.
Disruptive, unpredictable,
Yeah.
a force of nature.
Exactly.
We've talked a lot about strategy.
Right.
But it all comes back to execution, right?
Yeah.
What's Hoggs' overall advice for refining those skills and mastering Hulk's gameplay?
He keeps coming back to this idea of practice, refinement, pushing your limits.
Yeah.
He encourages players to experiment,
It's okay.
to really get a feel for Hulk's unique mechanics. Don't just play the game, play with the game.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about exploring those possibilities,
Right.
finding those hidden depths within the character and the game itself.
Exactly.
And it's not just about mindless repetition.
Right.
It's about deliberate practice.
Yeah.
Focusing on specific areas for improvement.
Exactly.
Hoggs even suggests increasing your sensitivity settings for Hulk
Oh, wow.
to allow for quicker, more precise movements.
Interesting.
So you're taking those core skills, the combos, the juggling, the positioning,
Yeah.
and you're elevating them to an art form.
Right.
It's about finding that flow state where your actions become instinctive and effortless.
Precisely.
That's where true mastery lies.
Right.
It's not just about knowing what to do, it's about doing it with style, with grace,
Yeah.
with that undeniable Hulk swagger.
Exactly.
This has been so insightful. We've uncovered so much about Hulk's playstyle,
Right.
from his strategic use of mobility to his disruptive team-up abilities.
That's exactly.
So you've even delved into those challenging matchups
Right.
and explored the importance of practice and refinement.
And we're not done yet.
Oh, there's more.
We still need to unravel the mysteries of Worldbreaker.
Okay.
Delve deeper into those team-up synergies and uncover even more of Hoggs' advanced tactics.
Buckle up and get ready for the final part of our deep dive,
Oh,
where we'll unleash the full potential of Hulk in Marvel Rivals. We're back and ready to smash into the final part of our Hulk deep dive.
Let's do it.
You know, we've covered a lot,
Yeah.
but there's one thing that keeps coming back to me. That fastball team-up ability.
Right.
Throwing your teammate into the enemy lines?
Yeah.
That's just wild.
It is, isn't it?
What do
It's
you-
definitely the most unconventional team-up ability Hulk has.
Yeah.
But remember what we said about Hoggs?
Yeah?
He's all about using every tool at his disposal,
Right.
even the ones that seem a little strange at first.
I'm still struggling to wrap my head around fastball, though.
Yeah.
When is chucking your teammate across the map a good idea?
Well, think of it like this.
Okay.
Hulk is all about disruption.
Right.
He's there to shake things up,
Yeah.
to create chaos, to make the enemy uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And fastball fits perfectly into that play style.
Okay, I'm starting to see it.
Yeah.
It's not just about the damage the thrown teammate might inflict.
Right.
It's about the disruption it causes.
Exactly. It's about creating those moments of surprise and confusion.
Okay.
Let's say the enemy team is all clustered together,
Yeah.
maybe trying to take down an objective.
Mm-hmm.
You throw your Wolverine right into the middle of them,
Oh, wow.
and suddenly their formation is broken.
Yeah.
They're scrambling, trying to figure out what just happened.
And while they're distracted, your team can capitalize, right?
Exactly.
It's like a strategic curveball.
Precisely.
Right.
And Hoggs gave another interesting example.
Okay.
He said you could throw an ally right into the enemy front line, setting up a perfect grab for your own Wolverine.
Oh, I see.
It turns a potential weakness,
Yeah.
that reliance on a teammate being in the right position,
Right.
into a strength.
That's some next level thinking.
It is.
So it's a high risk, high reward kind of move.
Yeah.
It fits with Hulk's overall playstyle, that unpredictable, chaotic energy.
Right.
But let's shift gears and talk about those game-changing ultimates.
Okay.
We touched on Charged Up and World Breaker earlier.
Okay.
I'm ready for a deeper dive.
Let's break it down.
All right.
Charged up is your bread and butter.
Okay.
You transform into this unstoppable force,
Uh-huh.
gaining temporary invincibility, increased health,
Yeah.
and those souped up abilities.
All right. It's all about controlled aggression, diving into the enemy team and unleashing this whirlwind of attacks.
Right.
But what about World Breaker?
Yeah.
The ultimate, within the ultimate.
World Breaker is pure, unadulterated Hulk rage.
Oh, wow.
It's a massive burst of damage. But it comes with this long animation,
Right.
making you vulnerable while you're charging it up.
I see.
That's why Hogs recommends saving it for the very end of your charged up duration.
So you're already in this superpowered state,
Right.
wrecking havoc, and then bam,
Exactly.
you unleash World Breaker as the final blow.
It's not just about ending the fight.
Right.
It's about ensuring the enemy doesn't get back up.
Oh, wow.
You're denying them a chance to recover, to regroup.
Wow.
It's like dropping the curtain on their performance, and you're the one getting the standing ovation.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
We've gone from basic combos to advanced strategies.
Right?
And I feel like I've unlocked a whole new level of understanding when it comes to Hulk.
Absolutely.
What were some of the key takeaways for you?
For me, it's that Hulk is so much more than just a brute force character.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got the power, but it's the strategy, the timing, the awareness, and the willingness to experiment that truly make him a force to be reckoned with.
For sure.
He's a disruptor, a playmaker,
Yeah.
a character who thrives on chaos and uses it to his advantage.
It's that combination of raw power and strategic thinking
Yeah.
that makes him so fascinating to play.
Right.
You're not just smashing buttons.
Right.
You're conducting an orchestra of destruction.
Well said.
And that's what makes Hogg such an inspiring player to learn from.
Yeah.
He embodies that mastery of Hulk's multifaceted play style.
Right.
He's not afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
To push the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
And to use every tool at his disposal.
Right.
Even the ones that seem a little unconventional.
Exactly.
And that's a great lesson for any game, really.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to experiment, to think outside the box,
Yeah.
and to find your own style.
Right.
You never know what hidden depths you might discover,
Yeah.
both in the game and in yourself.
Exactly. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Yeah.
And remember, true mastery comes from embracing both the power and the nuance of the game you're playing.
Go forth, smash wisely, and dominate those Marvel Rivals matches.
We'll see you on the battlefield.